Hey everybody, welcome back to the Carryandcut YouTube channel. And if you're new here, I really do appreciate you stopping by and watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, also leave a comment down below. Really does help out the channel. And speaking of helping out the channel, we have finally made it past the YouTube monetization guidelines. So we do have some channel memberships available, and that's really exciting stuff happening. So hopefully I can do some channel member giveaways here before too long. And we also do have a 2,000 subscriber giveaway coming up really soon. So definitely excited about that. Make sure you guys stay tuned. So today we are going to be looking at one of the coolest knives, if not the coolest knife that I've ever seen on the channel. This is just something that is extremely different, way out of left field, and super excited to get my hands on and check out this Winterblade Co-Factor. So this is coming to us from our really good friend Stephen Weigel. Him and his little man Dom sent another one over to us to take a look out, and he's definitely bringing the heat. So this is, yeah, this is the knife in all of its glory. Listen to that ting this thing has. It is the craziest knife. That was kind of a bad example, but really does make a really awesome sound. Can't get over that thing. I sat for like 3 hours the first day that he sent this to me, and I just sat there and flicked it away. And of course my wife, she got super annoyed with it, but I just definitely could not get over it. So what makes this knife so special? It is operated by magnets of some sort. So there's definitely some kind of crazy wizardry going on the inside of this knife. It's you want to say it's almost like a crossbar lock of some sort, but this little hockey puck lock, I think that's what they call it on there, a hockey puck, some sort of something. It's actually magnetized, and when the blade locks up, it slides up into the tang of the blade, and that is your actual lockup. There's even a magnetic detent on the inside of the knife right here. So I'm definitely excited to take this thing apart and see what makes this thing tick. Definitely interesting. And then there's also this, I don't know what you want to call this thing. It's like a kick stop or something like that. There's a kind of a good shot. You can see the magnets down inside of there. Down here, there it is, all the way towards the end of there. So just definitely a completely different design. You can feel it snap in too. So something that is totally revolutionary, at least in the knife industry. I know Brian Winters is, I think he was a custom maker, of course, before he got into the production side of things. These are made, you know, here in the States to super high quality standards. I think this knife was around, it's kind of hard to find these older ones unless you're on the secondary market. But I think this is one of the original factors. It was from batch number 3. They had some really cool packaging too. I love it when knife companies give you these nice little cases here. So there's your certificate of authenticity. This is the factor, of course. We have M390 blade steel. This is titanium all the way around. So they do have some that have carbon fiber on the show side, I guess you could say. And this is the 3rd batch of them. So pretty cool. Certified by Brian Winters himself. So he is a, you know, I don't want to say he's a new guy in the knife market, but it's somebody that I've never heard of until this knife came out. And I know a lot of people wanted to get their hands on these things, and they were pretty hard to come by. Of course, it's going to be a small batch, you know, operation he has going on over there. So really cool. One thing of interest with this knife right here, there's a tritium insert inside of this. You guys can kind of see it right there. There's a tritium insert inside of this. It's not a lock bar. I don't know what exactly you want to call that piece right there. It's kind of drawing a blank on me. I want to call it a kickstart. It almost seems like a Kickstarter. So we'll just we'll call it the I don't even know, actuation bar. Maybe that's kind of definitely going to be way out of left field. Definitely wrong. But for one thing, this knife is a super ergonomic, at least for me. I really do love the blade shape on it. It's got a, you know, really nice sheep's footy kind of blade on there, almost flirt with a reverse Tonto at the same time, but still really cool. Love the big generous finger cutout right there, blade cutout for the reverse flick. You can do your index finger on it also. Of course, the thumb works great, and then I just like to do the old standard bar actuation, whatever you want to call that thing back there. So really cool and very exciting stuff coming from the Winterblade Co. Company in general. They have, of course, a whole bunch of new models, and they did come out with a whole bunch of, at least new variants of the Factor, but they have a whole bunch of new models. I think the M-Fire was one of them. I think they had like a Veyron, it was called. There's just a whole bunch of stuff coming out, and I think they're on their, I think it was the Factor B2. If you guys get on the Winterblade Co. website and check it out, there's just a whole bunch of cool stuff going on in there. So why don't we go ahead and do some overall measurements of this knife right here. There isn't a whole lot of cutting edge on the actual knife just because of the, very generous finger choil they have gave you there. But I'm pretty sure for some reason it has something to do with this bar right here. So for at least your means of deployment, there's going to be some sort of, you know, you're going to have to, I don't want to say cut corners. That's not what I'm trying to get at there, but you're going to have to do something to make that exact deployment method work, I guess you could say. All right, so let's go ahead and get on into this thing. We are looking at just over 2.5 inches of actual cutting edge blade length. I'm going to put it right at 2 3/4, maybe just a little bit more, under 3 inches of actual blade length. I mean, you can go 3 inches if you're all the way back here towards the ricasso and your sorry about that, plunge line there. But still not a large knife by any stretch, but I can still get a full 4-finger grip on it without even choking up. So overall length of the knife, we're looking at 7 inches. So we got about a 3-inch hand, 3-inch blade, about a 4-inch handle there. So definitely right in that medium, happy medium kind of a range that I really do like to be into. Definitely a big fan of that size of knives. That 3 to 3 1/4 inch is my perfect go-to size for me for EDC knives. That's just what I like. I have medium to large size hands, so it just works out very well for me. Okay, so we're looking at about 122. Yeah, no, there's 127. 127 thousandths on the blade stock. There's 128. Not really getting a very active reading on it. There's 125. I'm assuming it tapers down. Yeah, at the thickest part of the spine up here. 126 thousandths. So really good. Of course, this does have a full flat grind on it, so almost like a distal taper, how you would have on a Spyderco. It just keeps getting thinner and thinner and thinner all the way down to the tip there. Behind the edge thickness is super thin. I know Steven does a really good job on his sharpening all of his knives right there. So we're looking at 19 thousandths behind the edge. So super thin, super slicey. See if I can get a piece of paper here. Of course, it's not the thinnest blade stock, but behind that edge thickness is super thin. And, I want to say it's like a ghost, a whisper. So super good there. Why don't we go ahead and get a weight on this thing? It's going to be a little interesting to see. It does feel a little bit heavier. I don't know if the magnets are going to be, playing a role in the actual weight of this knife. Of course, we are looking at titanium. So 3.8 ounces. So not too bad there. That's pretty close to your ounce per inch guidelines that a lot of people do like to have for their knives. That tang, I just cannot get over that tang. Of course, there's going to be no liners in here. It's definitely going to be a really exciting knife to take apart and see what we have going on here. Of course, this little kickstop dude, whatever you want to call this thing, is made of carbon fiber. So really cool right there. And that tritium insert is just one thing that is super exciting. And I don't think all of them have that actually. It's kind of a yeah, I think that's an addition that you have to put on after the fact, but super cool. Steven said that these things glow for 14 years, so there's kind of a somewhat of a picture you guys can see in there. It has like that glowing blue color. Really interesting. We do have, I think we have T8s all the way around here. Let me go ahead and do a hardware check. T8s all the way around, and this screw is supposed to be missing right there. You use it for the pocket clip, and we have the cheapest pivot tool that I've actually ever used here. That's at least what I heard. So we can just go to use a quarter and we're going to thread that thing out. I'm thinking it should be a straightforward disassembly. You just have to fight with the magnets and all that kind of stuff there, but I don't think it's going to be too crazy. So in the next video, that's what we're going to be doing, is a disassembly on this thing. Why don't we go ahead and do some size comparisons though while we're here at this stage? How about up against the Ontario Rat Model 2? So that's actually a pretty good size comparison there. How about the Spyderco Para 3 lightweight? That's pretty much right in the ballpark there. And then let's do the Para 3, and then how about a PM2 to round things off right there. So there you guys go. If you have any inclination about your PM2, then you're definitely going to know the size range of that one. And the Benchmade 940. We'll go ahead and throw the Shaman on there just to get the point across. It's definitely not a big knife by any stretch, but it's going to be one of those perfect Goldilocks size. I wish I had the Neutron 2 still. It's kind of in that same bracket as the TRM Neutron 2. The Bulldog is a pretty close size comparison of the Neutron 2 though. So there you go. We're right there in that same category. That Goldilocks size that I do know and love. That 3 to 3 1/4 inch. Just can't get much better than that. So I think we pretty much, I know I left a lot out. It's kind of crazy to see, what's going on the inside of this thing, so you actually take it apart and know what is making this knife work. Of course, we do have a titanium clip on this thing. Super good retention on that. Really do love the milling they have going on this thing. I know this, I can only imagine that these knives are a whole entire piece of work to machine and get correct. I imagine they went through a whole bunch of engineering to get this thing figured out. I do like this, the pivot they have going here on the other side. I definitely do want to take this thing apart though. I feel like we're almost getting a little bit of lock stick going on here, and I've seen that is an issue when they do get dirty. You could have a lock stick issue, so definitely something that we're going to address and take a look at here, and hopefully we get this thing put back together in one piece. So if you guys have any questions, make sure to leave it down in the comment section below. Hopefully I can answer the most of them that I can. But on the next video, we are going to be doing the disassembly, so make sure you stay tuned for that one. But overall, I think this thing is a home run here. This would be a great knife to add to the collection, that is for sure. So for the $400, or I think they're going to be pretty much less than 400. I've seen them, between 330 to 380, all the way up to 400. So really good price range. Of course, this isn't going to be the most heavy duty knife. I don't know how it's going to. I imagine the lockup is going to be, really great. That magnet on the inside isn't going anywhere, and of course, it's attracting the magnet into the tang of the blade there, and it's not a crossbar lock, but it does have, of course, that stud sticking up through from one piece of steel right there. So this thing is not going to go anywhere. There's no lateral play in it. So it actually is a very strong lock. The only thing you could kind of get concerned with is, of course, getting, I don't even want to call them metal shavings in the actual pivot themselves. I know some people are worried about that though, because of their work environment they work in, kind of stuff like that. Of course, this would not be my go-to knife for a work environment, but still pretty good. I'd say the blade turning is going to be right on the money right there, so hopefully we can mimic that when we put this thing back together. Yeah, really do like it though. This is going to be a really interesting one, and I'm really glad that Steven sent this over for us to take a look at. Just a really cool. I'm wondering if there is carbon fiber. So the ones that I seen on the internet, a lot of them of course did have a carbon fiber show side on this thing, and you can really see it in there. There's like a really thin piece of carbon fiber on the actual inside of the knife there. So that is kind of interesting. I wonder why they actually do that. So there's like a carbon fiber liner on the inside of the titanium. That is definitely interesting. So the more you know, you guys probably can't see that very well, but there you can see it right there. Really cool. There's a whole bunch of gadgets and gizmos going on with this thing. Definitely more than your standard Spyderco or even your crossbar lock. This is just a whole entire genre of its own. So Steven, really do appreciate it. Dom, stay cool out there, and we will talk to you guys on the next one. Make sure you come back for the disassembly video on this one. Hopefully it's going to be an easy one, but we will figure that one out when the time comes. So we'll see you guys later. Really do appreciate all the support from everybody out there. All the new subscribers means the world to me, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Thanks.